Hello, everybody. We have another Minecraft baby snapshot. Actually, two of them, because there was one last week. So let's start off with the babbies that were introduced in last week's snapshot, in case you missed it. We have ourselves the baby, which is looking very cute and like a little bit smaller, I think, than it used to. So there's a little bit more differentiation between babby and an adult, and it looks very cute. And I would never accidentally harvest your hive without having campfires underneath and then have you guys be angry and sting me and then you're not alive anymore. Never do that. Foxes look incredibly cute and very epically cool. We have the baby goats and we have the baby camels. Oh my goodness. Also, apparently the cusks, the camel husks, like they don't have a baby now. Or maybe they're doing some temporary changes to that. I'm not sure. But anyway, there was a note about those. This is the baby armadillo. You'd be forgiven if, maybe you thought that this was an adult's armadillo because they're both kind of small. But this is, in fact, a baby armadillo. And he gets scared when I get close. This is the baby polar bear. Look, he's so cute. He's trying to turn away from me. Look at me. They're behind barriers, so that's why I can't, fully get in. But I felt this was a better display than having them in fences like in previous weeks. You get a more full-on unobstructed shot, and that is important when you're trying to look at how they look. This is baby llama, also very. I think all of these are great improvements, very lovely and very cool and very awesome. So that's last week's. They do technical changes as well in the snapshots, but this was like the main stuff. And so I figured, we'll just roll it into this week's snapshot, which has more babies. They've focused a little bit more on the hostile mobs this week. And honestly, this, while, there's an aesthetic change here to Babby Zombie, Husk, Drowned, so on and so forth. The big thing here is the hitbox has also been adjusted to go with it, which means that because the head is even larger now, it seems, the hitbox is bigger on Babby Zombie. And I think for gameplay itself, this might be one of the most significant changes in the history of the entire game of Minecraft. Ilza might not be here right now if the hitbox was bigger. I'd have to rewatch the clip. I don't know if it made any difference. But all I'm saying is a hitbox adjustment on the baby zombie is a pretty big deal. Here we have the Husk. Identical models, just slightly different textures. Not slightly, very different textures. This is baby Drowned. Same model, although, it has like the extra layer inset in the eyes and the brain being eaten and stuff like that. Although, Zombie Villager Babby is a little bit different now. So it's been changed. He's got, I don't know, his arms are kind of like sticking into his face a little bit. He looks kind of cute, which makes it a little bit sadder, I guess, when you have to slay it. And then, Babby Villager itself has also been updated. He's actually really square-headed, which is making me second guess. He wasn't square-headed before. He had like the rectangular head. So that means as they get older, their heads they elongate vertically or something. This is now the new aging process of villagers. You cannot feed the babby. Doesn't want it. Picky eaters. They do not want to eat golden dandelions, which, if I was offered a flower that was dipped in gold, I'd be like, that doesn't sound very appetizing, even though you've included it in my Michelin 3-star dinner. It doesn't seem very tasty. But that's not all. That's all the overworld ones. There's a few more in the nether, real quick. I can remember where I put them. We have ourselves, actually, this is pretty epic. Look at this guy. Look at the baby piglin. And look at the baby ziglin. They're so cute. And then you're like, wait, did the Hoglin change? Why do you have the Hoglin here? The only reason that I have the Hoglin here is because you can now, even though you can't do it to the baby villager, you can golden dandelion Hoglin. So that is an option if you would like to preserve a baby Hoglin, you can now feed it. Because it's not it's not hostile. But it is. It's weird. You're like not supposed to, they headbutt you, they just don't really damage you. So, I don't know. And Hoglins are definitely hostile. So, I thought the whole thing was like you can't use the golden dandelion on hostile mobs, but I guess there's exceptions to every rule, and that's one of them. Okay, so anyway, that concludes all of the baby mobs added in the last couple weeks snapshot. I have to imagine by the time the next full update is released, every single possible baby mob will have been retextured. I don't know how many are left, but probably a few. Anyway, big thing in the world of music. We have a brand new note block sound that's been added. It's if you put a note block on a copper block, you now get a trumpet. So there you go. You can add more instruments into your note block creations for epic music. All right, speaking of sounds, let's move into some more sounds, which is actually pretty cool. So we're now getting like variants of sets of sounds for various animals. So we're starting off this week with the cat, the pig, chicken, and cow. You'll notice here, and I should go and get the actual, the specific name of what these sounds are. This is the royal cat. Doesn't it sound regal? Listen to it. Ah, yes, the meows of greatness. So many meows. Wow, incredible work. Okay, there are obviously some more sounds, including ones when the cat perishes, but we don't want to show those here, so we won't. Here, there's actually, when it comes to pigs, there's 2 new variants, and they're called a mini and big. Though they don't have anything to do with the actual size of the pig. It's very deep. Okay, I may do a horrible thing. It's very deep. And the reason why I'm going to do a horrible thing here is, I hate to say it, but the sound is kind of funny. He's like, oh, I can't believe you've done this. So let's move on to, I don't know if that's mini or big. I'm assuming it's big. Maybe this is big. I don't know. Kind of huffs and puffs a little bit. Who knows? Mini, big. You have 3 variants for the pigs now, including the classic, which is the classic. Okay, let's move over to the chicken. Perhaps my favorite, because this is known as the picky chicken. It's very subtle. It does sound like they just straight up put a microphone inside of a chicken coop for this one. It sounds very realistic. Okay, there you have it. The picky chicken. And finally, the moody cow. Yes, he's having a mood. That was quite a moo right there, man. Oh, well done. Whoa, what a moo! All right. Well, there you have it. And of course, they still have their original classic variants, so it's just more variety, not a replacement or anything like that. Although obviously the textures themselves, the models themselves, they are replacements. But so far, they all look great. Anyway, that is it for this week's and last week's snapshots. Thanks for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed and stuff, and I will see you for more babies, unless they've done them all. Goodbye.